The topic of today is getting started and making money on YouTube, right? Who doesn't want to make money? And YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world behind Google. And even for me, like a lot of times before I buy something, I'm searching on YouTube. Before I, want to learn about something or see a trailer or look up an old song, anything, I'm searching and watching videos on YouTube. I go there for entertainment. I go there for education. There's all kinds of purposes. And I couldn't think of a better speaker and person to talk to than Scott Simson. So please join me in welcoming Scott Simson, CEO of Video Marketing World.
Hey, everybody. Scott. Hey, Fanny. Thanks for having me on your show. And a shout out to Lindy Chapman. I saw her in the chat. Hey, Lindy.
Lindy. Love
and everybody
Lindy.
else, too. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Absolutely. You're typically on YouTube and Facebook, Scott. So welcome to the lives on LinkedIn.
I know. You were one of the special few that got selected for the privilege of LinkedIn Live.
I begged and pleaded. No, it worked. I applied, and then 2 months later, I somehow got approved. And actually, when COVID started. So I don't know.
Timing.
I got lucky. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But Scott, tell people a little bit about your journey, right? How you went from, speaker to writer to bookseller, author to YouTube content creator to now consultant. Tell us a bit about that journey and how you ended up here.
When you say it like that, it sounds like I'm super ADD, but it's all just been this perfect...
No, it's a whole transition.
I know. It's been this perfect flow. So let me back up, 10 years, no, not 10 years. Gosh, it's 2020 already. Okay. So 14 years ago, I was in the financial services industry, 2006, 2007. And then we all know what happened in 2008, right? It just crumbled. And we were broke. And I was in my early 20s. We were broke. And my wife and I had this inspiration to write a children's book. And we called it Fox in the Mountain. It was all about this fox's journey up to this mountain to get this fruit that nobody else could reach. And it was the most delicious fruit in the entire world, whatever. And so we wrote this children's book and we published it, and it ended up being kind of like our journey to success, picking ourselves back up from our 2008 problems and then creating this new life for ourselves. So fast forward a couple of years, we wrote the book, we had it published, we wrote an adult/teen version of that book as well. It's called Fox in the Mountain as well. And I was traveling around, I was speaking on the principles of the book, telling our story. Mm-hmm. And in 2014, my wife was pregnant with my son. This is our third child at the time. And she's like, you can't go anywhere anymore. I need you at home because this is too hard. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, come on, you can do it. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. But
you stuck her at home. And I know Camber.
Yeah. She's a tough one, but even Camber's got her limits. So I was like, well, let's give YouTube a try. And I started talking about the principles of the book on YouTube. That was very early on in our days, in our YouTube days. My channel was just called Scott Simson back then. And then slowly but surely it transitioned into a family vlog where we would just share our success principles in our everyday life. So we'd kind of just lead by example, and we produced content daily for 6 months, 7 days a week. I mean, it was insane. Wow. I was working a full-time job at that same time. And yeah, there you go. And that's so this is our biggest channel, not our only channel, our biggest channel, with just over 335,000 subscribers, somewhere in there. And then we've also created a number of other channels just using the same principles of success that we gained from building this channel. And then in 2019, last year, I bought Video Marketing World, which is a local conference here in Dallas. I mean,
Yeah.
it's based locally, but it's a worldwide conference. And gosh, it's just flowered into this like awesome agency that
Yeah.
that we've built, and all sorts of cool opportunities. Now I work with, I still create content, but I work with some of the biggest influencers in the world, and it's been awesome.
Like Russell Brunson. I will
Russell
drop the
Brunson,
name. You're not, you're too humble to drop the name, but I'm going to drop the name.
yeah. Well, yeah. Russell's awesome, and yeah, we've had some cool opportunities with others as well. So it's been fun.
Awesome.
It's been very fun.
Wow. Yeah. And, you and I met through Video Marketing World. I think actually Craig Fisher knew Jeremy, and then Jeremy introduced us to you. And I must admit, like I had a lot of preconceptions of YouTube, right? I just thought it was for millennials. It's this silly, entertaining platform.
You think of it
But
like we all think of TikTok now, right?
yes, in a way, that's so true.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. And it wasn't until I attended your Video Marketing World 2 years ago, 2019, that I was like, holy smokes, I have been missing the bandwagon. Because there's just so much going on, and I didn't even realize that there's so many behind the scenes things of YouTube, and we're going to get into all that. But I'd love to hear from you if you could share like why YouTube as a platform, and why should founders, creators, entrepreneurs, even corporations, why should we all be on YouTube?
Oh my gosh, there's so many reasons. The biggest reason is because YouTube simply is a search engine. And so your content that you create 5 years ago will still get views. One of our bigger videos we have still gets about 7,500 views a day, and we made it 5 years ago. 7,500 new people are finding my content every single day from a piece of content that I made 5 years ago. And so while you're chasing the views and the likes and the comments on platforms like LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook, and you're constantly producing content every single day, on YouTube, you can take a 6-month break and YouTube's still going to send you search traffic. Some of our bigger clients, they stop producing content altogether for a year, and they still get 2,500 views a day. And they're still selling product, and they're still getting phone calls and walk-ins off the street into their clinics. I work with some people in the same medical / health profession, and they still get traffic in the door from the YouTube videos that they created years ago. And that's why YouTube, like everything else, you've got to stay on top of your game. You got to constantly be producing content, and you can burn out so fast and so hard. But with YouTube, it doesn't have to be the case.
Absolutely. Yeah. It lives forever, right? Like content kind of lives forever on YouTube. And as long as it's still relevant or like a search worthy thing, it pops up, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So there's two types of content, right? There's the trend content that's going to be relevant today. And it'll be relevant for a little while, but then you have the evergreen content, which is more like how to change a tire, right? You're going to have until tires go away and everybody's driving in floating cars, you're going to have people looking for how to change a tire on YouTube. And from now until the end of time. So evergreen content is an incredible strategy that will keep viewers flowing into your channel for years to come.
Even a topic like our fellow friend Roger Wakefield, right? Plumbing.
Yep. Yeah.
He has just blown up on YouTube, and he talks about plumbing, everyone. And for those of you that think it's for the young and the millennials or whatever, Roger Wakefield is, gosh, I don't know. He's been in the decades, right? Like,
do you want to guess his age? Is that?
No, I'm not going to guess. I won't get myself into trouble.
47.
But he's older than me, and I'm getting up there. So yeah, like it doesn't matter, right? What the topic is, as long as it's kind of eternal and search worthy, right?
Yeah. And real fast, I will I'll tell some of the strategy that Roger puts in place. I'll do that at the end though, so that way we can get
Yeah,
through all of your talking points. But some of the strategy he puts in place in order to explode his channel, I'll share some of those insights here in just a little bit.
that'd
So
be
just wanna.
awesome. Yeah, y'all are gonna get like the inner secrets from Scott. So, I mean, I started off with kind of like my misconceptions initially. I don't
Yeah.
hold those misconceptions anymore. But there's a lot of people that there's like still a lot of myths of YouTube, right? What have you heard that are misconceptions and myths of YouTube?
Yeah, I mean the biggest ones that I hear are that that YouTube is for the young only. I mean that's just completely wrong. I mean one of the biggest channels, one of the fastest growing channels is oh my gosh, it's a Hispanic lady who lives like she lives I think in Mexico, and she just cooks on a hot stone, like it's like a hot stone, and her channel exploded from 0 to millions of subscribers in just a
Wow.
few months, and she's like in her 60s, 70s. I don't want to
Wow.
guess, but I
Yeah.
mean she's a grandma, so
Yeah.
she's up there.
Yeah.
And and the other misconception is that, or the other myth is that it's too late to start on YouTube.
Mm,
The thing is as these platforms have been around now for 10, 15 years,
yeah.
we have realized that content creation kind of follows a similar cycle to television cycles,
Mm,
where you have something that you've got a show or a channel that reaches peak, and then it kind of tapers off, and then it plateaus or just disappears altogether. And so there are constantly shows and channels that are coming in and out of popularity on YouTube.
yeah.
People are always looking for something to follow, something to watch, especially in 2020
Yeah.
with coronavirus. Like people are
We're
stuck at
stuck at
home.
home.
I think
Yeah.
it was like a 14 or 15% increase in viewership just in March alone, when everybody was stuck at home. So everybody just went to YouTube, went to Netflix, went to Facebook, because
Yeah.
there was nothing else to do. You're all trapped.
Yeah. And in a
So
way, like, I'm almost not surprised that lady's cooking channel, even if it's on a hot stone, blew up because we're also not going out as much and we're cooking more at home. I mean,
yep.
grocery stores are doing so well, right? Because we're not going to restaurants as much, and so I'm always Googling and watching YouTube videos on cooking different things. Like we're trying all these different recipes now, even.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So there's a need for it. And as the audience of YouTube gets older, they get more mature. They
Mm,
stop they stop watching Jake and Logan Paul. They stop watching Jojo Siwa, and now they're starting to watch an older demographic who can teach them things that they need to know for
yeah.
the new stage of life that they're in. You know,
Yeah.
how to tie a tie, how to
Mm,
you know, how to polish up your interview skills, you know, those
yeah.
types of things. That's what 5 years ago the
How to
15
live
year olds are
stream.
looking for now. How to live stream. Yeah, everybody's looking for that type of content now, and so
Yeah.
there's always opportunity to blow up on YouTube.
Okay. So I think you kind of answered my next question is like, is it too late? Is it too late to get started? I mean, you've done it for years,
Yeah.
right? How is someone that starts from zero ever going to catch up or even gonna get notice? Like, how do you go from zero and compare yourself to someone that's got like millions of subscribers or views?
Yeah, so first of all, you have to go into YouTube with the right mindset, right? Just like any
Mm,
other social media platform, if you're not willing to put in the legwork, then you're not really going to get much out of it. You're going to burn out quickly. Like
mm,
Fanny, I mean, you're getting a couple dozen people who are watching your live stream. You probably didn't get a couple dozen people on day one, or you probably
yeah,
didn't get 100 likes on your posts on day one. It
yep,
takes time to build up a following, and so with YouTube, because it's a search engine, it's a little bit easier to grab a cold audience, whereas with like LinkedIn or Facebook, you know, you're dealing with your connections. With YouTube, you're dealing with a worldwide population.
yeah,
So it's all a matter of creating content that they're searching for, and making sure that
mm,
you are very niche focused. Like you're creating content on one subject, not a variety of subjects. Like on here, when we're doing our live stream, you could talk to me one week, and then you could talk to somebody who's a specialist of, Google Plus,
Right.
not
I
Google Plus.
feature artists. Yeah. Like art. Yeah.
Exactly. And that really wouldn't fly on YouTube. You got to be very specific as to who your audience is and what you're teaching. So that way YouTube can categorize your channel the right way and get it in front of people who are looking for your content.
Yeah. Let's talk about that a bit more, like about this niching down, right? Like how niche do you think we need to be?
So that's a really good question. I would say enough that your value proposition is different from your competitors. So for example, like let's have the
because a YouTube content creator, right? There's tons of YouTube content creators giving advice. So how would one stand out from another? And
so specifically, if we're talking about like YouTube training, what I would say is focus on a very specific subset of the analytics and be the master of that on YouTube, or focus on how you can use a service like TubeBuddy to grow your YouTube channel. So rather than just saying, hey guys, today I'm going to teach you 5 tips on how to grow your YouTube channel, it's today I'm going to teach you 5 tips on how to use A/B testing with TubeBuddy to grow your YouTube channel, and get very specific. And those people, because you will be one of the only people who've created a video like that, it's much easier for YouTube to get the people who are searching for that content in front of your content, in front of your video, or to your video. So it's getting very specific. Now, some categories you don't need to be that specific because they're just not that popular. So if you're talking about, stock trading or stock options, that's a very specialized category, and there's not a lot of people who know what they're talking about, or who are creating content for the masses on that subject. So you could go into that subject and pretty much take the entire topic and you'd be all right. But if you're going into if you're going into a topic that is more popular, then you've got to find your angle and be very specific and very, very niche with that.
I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Clark White was just talking about kids playing with new toys are always a hit.
Yes,
millions of new views.
Very
right?
saturated market.
Yeah. But when there was one kid, right, that just made millions.
Ryan. Ryan's toy reviews. Yeah. Ryan is one of the
He must be a teenager now.
I don't think so. I think he's still pretty young.
Okay.
Maybe. But I mean, he's worth tens of millions of dollars now. But he was one of the very first and one of the best in his category when he came out. Now, a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon and tried to catch up to him, but nobody is Ryan. Ryan is, he's a legend now.
So there is something to kind of be like first in the gate, right? And or through the gate, I should say, because you're kind of like the niche, and then you build it up from there, and then everyone else is like a copier.
Yeah, exactly. And that's okay. I mean, there are some people like in the fitness space. I have some clients in the fitness space, and there are a couple of celebrity fitness instructors like Blogilates. She's been around. Cassie from Blogilates has been around for a very long time. She's got 5 million subscribers. Chloe Ting, she's another one in the fitness industry. She's only been in the game for a few years, and she now has 15 million subscribers. So she passed Blogilates just this last year. And so there are opportunities to skyrocket past, but when you're to be the leader of your category, but when you're coming into a category that's pretty saturated, that the odds of you blowing past the people who've been in it for a long time are slim. But that's okay, because again, people are falling in and out of love with their favorite content creators, and they're always looking for somebody new.
We are fickle as a human race.
That's right. I go between The Office and Parks and Rec, and I fall in and out of love with each of them. So
But see, even just looking across these comments, right? This kind of stuff that people look at, like Mindy, I've been learning tech stuff. Mary says, my husband watches videos to fix our home appliances, right? I saw something, Mike Shell, the plumbing videos, right? Yes, you've probably seen Roger's videos. He's definitely all over there. And yeah, so like we look at it from all these different angles, all these different topics. And yeah, I guess it never does get old, does it?
Nope. Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of 8 billion people on the planet. Everybody's a little bit unique, and so we all have something to offer that is fun and entertaining.
So if I'm starting from scratch, right? What would be kind of like 5 tips you have to get started on YouTube?
Okay. So here's where you start is make sure that your channel is optimized. You've got your you've got a good profile picture, right? Of you, not of a logo, but of you. People don't fall in love with a logo, they fall in love with a person. So you want to make sure that
Say that again. I've heard you say that many times, but it needs to be emphasized. Say it again.
People don't fall in love with the logo. They don't want to follow a logo. They want to follow a human. People come to the internet as humans looking for a human experience. And so you need to give that to them. And so if you're representing a business, doesn't matter. Make the profile picture a person and people will be more likely to follow you because they can connect with you. And make sure that you have your banner art produced in a way that looks high quality, that makes you look professional. Make sure that you have a value proposition in your channel art, so that way when people come to your channel, they know exactly what kind of content you're going to be producing for them, so they're not confused. A confused mind is a mind that will leave or wander. And so you want to make sure that what you're producing is crystal clear to the potential audience or the potential subscriber.
I love that. Sorry, I
Oh,
have to
go
repeat
ahead.
that.
Yeah.
A confused mind will wander.
That's right.
A confused mind will wander.
And I know that from personal experience. My mind is wandering all the time. So
yeah, same. Like, and I think I think that reinforces your point also about being niche, right? A lot of times I talk to different people and they want to talk about like anything and everything because they want to try to like hit as many viewers as possible. But like to your point, if you touch on too many things and you're not niche, then it really will cause confusion.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, so the second one is high quality banner art and the specific value proposition.
Yep.
Number 3.
I just want to say real fast, Cameron just left a comment. People want to connect with people. Love that. So one of the best examples I can give you guys is Maybelline New York is a $1 billion company. They have a channel with 300,000 subscribers. Nikki Tutorials started when she was a teenager. She does makeup routines. She has 15 million subscribers. Nikki Tutorials can completely demolish Maybelline New York's bottom line with one tweet, with one video that's complaining about Maybelline New York. And the reason that Nikki Tutorials is so much more successful than Maybelline New York on YouTube is because she's an authentic human. Yeah. Maybelline is a $1 billion company. Nobody wants to follow a $1 billion company with their perfect models and their perfect, makeup routines and all that stuff. They want authenticity. And that's why Nikki Tutorials has so much power and clout in the industry, because she's authentic. So just keep that in mind. I can't emphasize that enough. So yes. Okay. So number 2, high quality banner art, value proposition. Yep. Now we're going to move over into content. So 3 really is being niche and having that niche. Sorry. Everybody says it a different way. So we'll just go with niche. Have that niche that people can follow, that YouTube, it's easy for YouTube to categorize. So make sure that your content is focused on one category. And here's number 4, and this is a big one. And this is where a lot of people get hung up. I said that, and then as soon as I said that, poof, it was gone. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Okay. Create content that people are searching for when you're first starting. Create content that people are searching for. That means do keyword research before you ever hit the record button. You need to know exactly what people are searching for so you can cater your content to the search algorithm. because when you are brand new at YouTube, it doesn't matter if you it doesn't matter how dynamic of a personality you are. It doesn't matter how amazing your film skills are. If you don't create content that people are searching for, your content will not be viewed. So you have to create content in the beginning that people are searching for. Now, once you have 20,000 subscribers and every video you post gets a couple thousand views, then YouTube will they're more relaxed on what they share of yours, because they know that people like you. But when they're just testing you, they have no idea. They need to know that people are going to watch you, and then they also need to know what category you're in so they can serve your content to the people who are looking for your content. And so the beginning of YouTube is to when you're first starting on YouTube, you need to create content that is very search friendly, how-to content, and that will help you. That'll help you
Awesome.
get seen and grow. And then I would say number 5 is engagement. Make sure that this goes in line with your tip for the day. Make sure that you are engaging on every comment. Make sure that you are talking to your audience, not talking at them. You want to have conversations with your audience, so that way they like you and they want to follow you. And there's just something about, when you're listening to a live stream or when you're listening to a YouTube video, for example, right here, right now, anytime that we say somebody's name, it's an endorphin rush for us as a viewer, right? You're like, oh, I want to hear my name. I'm listening to somebody who has some clout and authority. And again, like it doesn't matter who you are. That's always the perception of the audience member. And so if you can give your audience some attention that way, they will keep coming back for more, because it becomes an addiction, just like any endorphin rush. So yeah,
Love
engagement.
attention. Right?
Yep.
Ultimately.
Exactly. So give your audience attention.
Awesome. Well, speaking of that, let's see what people are saying in the comments.
Sounds great.
And please ask your questions. Like, Scott's a busy man, so get him while you can. No, I'll tell you all kinds of ways to connect with him after the show. Volta has a question. Would you recommend engaging on other channels as well?
Yes, authentic engagement though. Never, ever, ever go to another channel and say, "Hey, come check out my channel," or "Hey, I just made a video like that as well. You should take a look at it." The idea is to engage with people in real relationships, or in real conversation. And so so I would absolutely recommend going to other channels and just watching their content, and then giving them real, authentic comments. And I would do it. Some of the strategy, if you're wanting to do it for growth strategy, right? It's good practice just to go and build relationships with people. But if you're wanting to use that as a growth strategy, the idea is you go to other channels that are in similar categories, niches, and you speak to or you start conversations on channels that aren't the biggest in the category, right? They're small to medium range, a step or two above where you're at, and they're a lot easier to get through to, and they're a lot easier to build those connections with. And then they don't have the ego problem that a lot of the giant YouTubers have, and so they're more willing to engage you.
Yeah, there's our plumbing star in the Roger Wakefield. Shout out to you. He's like two of my
Is
favorite.
Roger here?
Yeah. Wow, Roger. Thanks
up,
for
Roger?
tuning in. For all your plumbing needs, go to Roger Wakefield.
That's right.
Did you like that plug, Roger? Let's see. Let me see. Make sure I haven't skipped any questions. I saw one earlier.
There's a bunch of questions here.
Okay, I was just going through the old one.
Yeah.
But here, let's see. There's
Sorry.
no, Yumi. Are there any tools you would recommend for topic keyword searching? Great question.
Yeah, that is a great question. So specific to YouTube, TubeBuddy and vidIQ are top in my book. I use both of them. I use them for different reasons. I use vidIQ mostly for new keyword research ideas, and then I use TubeBuddy for keyword research ideas as I'm search engine optimizing each one of my videos. So, and the reason is because the vidIQ keyword research tool is a little bit more simple and intuitive to use, and it gives you more options, and it's just gives you more for less in less time. And TubeBuddy is great at just giving you options on the go. So it's like, okay, here's 100 keywords, grab the ones you like, copy paste, you're done. So both of those tools are phenomenal.
Awesome.
Highly recommend them.
Cameron asks, live video comments versus regular video comments. I wasn't aware they were different, but they seem to be. What do you think on this topic? Do you do a lot of lives on YouTube, Scott?
Not anymore. I mean,
Mhm.
so what we'll do now are premieres. We'll do premieres where we say, hey, at 5:00 we're starting our video, or we're releasing our new video. Come to the premiere and communicate with us in the chat. And so the chat on premieres works a lot like it does in live, where you get all of the comments scrolling on the side like we're seeing now, and then as soon as the video is live, those comments disappear and all of the new comments show up in the regular comments section. So I like doing premieres because I can sit there and I can respond to every single comment, or a
Is
lot of the
Premiere a
comments.
subset of YouTube? It's
It's
like
just
a,
it's just a scheduling preference. So you
oh,
can say premiere this video, instant premiere it. Just means as soon as you hit click, it's going to give you a 2-minute countdown, and then your video will be live, and then everybody who follows you has 2 minutes to come to your channel and jump on board the premiere and then engage with you in the comments. And then you can
oh,
schedule premieres. So you can say, hey, my video is going live at 3 p.m. Come and join me. And then everybody will get notifications up to that point. So that way
wow.
they can be on board as soon as you go live.
I noticed someone, like, so one of the other people I admire on YouTube is Sean Cannell, and he
Yeah.
does a lot of lives, but he sets it up in such a way that it lives long. Like even after the live, it's so relevant, and everything has this great pacing and flow to it as well. Right?
Yep. Sean is so Sean, it's Cannell, by the way.
Cannell. Oh,
Sean Cannell.
sorry.
But no, that's
Okay.
okay. I'm going to tell you how I remembered that is because he told me Cannell rhymes with channel, and so now I never have forgotten it.
It's with 2 N's and 2 L's, right?
I think so. 2 N's,
Sean
2 L's.
Cannell. Yeah, for
Sean
those of you
Cannell.
out there, follow him as well.
Channel rhymes with channel. Yeah. Sean's great. And yeah, his live strategy is awesome because he makes his lives searchable. So, and he stays on topic, he stays on point. And that's how you benefit from lives on YouTube. If you want to do lives, that's great. Just make sure that they are searchable. The titles are searchable, and you've got good engaging thumbnails, so that way people click on your content.
Okay, that one's for you, Cameron. Great answer. Real quick, Heidi, Scott, outside of YouTube, how do you network?
All on social media. I mean, I have a Facebook group that people are joining all the time, and I go live. I go live once a week in our Facebook group, but I also have that blasted out to our Facebook page, and I even put it on my personal. And then I just engage with people in other groups, on other Facebook groups, and so there's a lot of opportunity to network even in this this time of coronavirus, just by jumping into Facebook groups. I don't do a lot on LinkedIn because I still haven't figured out how really to navigate things, and I mean, as we all know, LinkedIn is like, if you want to ever find any content ever again, you
It
got to
changes
click
a
like
lot.
50 buttons to get into somebody's
Yes.
profile.
Even this live, I have to, like, when I promote this live, I have to include a post and a video to show people how to tune into this live.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree. I would agree with that.
So yes, but Facebook and other social media. Facebook is probably where 95% of my networking comes from now.
And for those of you in the audience, Scott has a Facebook show, and we'll pull that up later, and that you interview other YouTube content creators, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Last question before we move on to the next one real quick is, what do you think about, Jay says, what do you think about those that buy subscribers?
Don't do it. Don't ever do that. There's a couple reasons you don't want
He
to buy
thinks it's
subscriptions.
notorious on YouTube. Do you see that? Do people really do that? They buy
So
subscribers?
it depends on what their end goal is, because there are a lot of people that do that
Really?
to elevate their status,
Hmm.
the vanity status, right? It doesn't really give you anything good. Um, Bought subscribers, most of the time you buy them, they're going to be bought from some third party in a different country that's going to give you. They're just a lot of fake accounts,
Yeah.
and YouTube will delete those accounts after a couple
Mm.
months, sometimes a couple weeks, sometimes a couple of months. The other thing is that if you have legitimate subscribers that don't follow your content regularly, they'll be purged as well. And so if they come and engage for 10 seconds and subscribe to you, YouTube's going to purge them in 6 months if they're not actively
Ah,
following you. So just keep that in mind. Don't ever buy subscribers. The
yeah.
best thing, if you want to invest in your YouTube channel, the best place to spend money is you create a YouTube ad that's not directing people to your YouTube channel, but that's directing people to your product or service. And then they will watch your ad, and then a lot of the times a good chunk of them will actually subscribe just as a side effect of them watching your ad. And so you can grow
Ah,
your subscribers that way, but then you actually have an ROI because you're selling products or
mhm.
services.
Or you're like, the ad is pointing them to a website where they
Yep.
buy something? Mhm,
Yep, yeah, but then I mean, your channel is attached to that ad, and
mhm,
so people are going to look at your channel, they're gonna find your content, they're gonna subscribe to you. I mean, I know 2 guys right now who are doing that. One of them has
mhm.
gained 200,000 subscribers in the last 6 months
Wow.
just by selling his course through YouTube ads. And so he's got a massive channel now. Now he's not getting a ton of engagement because a lot of those subscribers again are dead, but
Yeah.
he's getting more engagement now than he was 6 months ago.
Mm.
And he got the silver play button, which is clout, and he's made millions of dollars selling his course. So win, 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 a little bit of everything.
So the next part is something that you've drilled into me that I
Okay,
must admit I'm still learning,
here we go.
right?
Thumbnails.
Yes. If nothing else, folks, this is what I've learned from Scott Simpson. Thumbnails and titles.
Yes.
Thumbnails and titles. Tell them why. Tell them
Okay.
why.
So you think of it like this. Thumbnails and titles are your marketing department. And
Mm.
this is I always explain it this way, and it's hopefully it paints a clear picture. But if you were working for a corporation like McDonald's in their advertising department, and they're bringing the McRib back or whatever, and they're like, hey, we need some really good clean pictures of McRibs for our new advertising campaign. The guy who's in charge of photographs in the ad department, he's not going to go to McDonald's, order a McRib, and start taking pictures of the McRib in the box or the bag, because it's going to look nasty. You open up the wrapper and there's holes in the buns and sesame seeds everywhere and rib sauce all over the packaging. Like, you take a picture of that, and it's going to look awful. So what they do is they curate a fake McRib that's made out of clay or whatever. They
Mm.
baste it with red barbecue sauce looking paint. The bun is plastic. The sesame seeds are fake. The cheese that lays over it is rubber. But it makes the best, most appetizing picture.
Yes.
And so
And then they
you
pump in some steam.
they pump in the steam. Now it's probably just a Photoshop filter or Photoshop like
Uh-huh.
brush.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they curate the perfect McRib for their advertisements. When you are creating thumbnails for your videos, you need to curate the absolute best, most enticing, most clickable thumbnail possible for your piece of content. You don't want to just grab a random screenshot right out of the middle of the video and throw that up as your thumbnail, because when people are searching for your content, scrolling through YouTube, and they see this like homemade, random screenshot, they're not going to click on it. What they will click on is that amazing fake McRib thumbnail that you've created that builds curiosity and evokes emotion in them. And so YouTube thumbnails are more important than almost anything else on YouTube. I mean, titles, you got to have the keyword research down, like we talked about, but thumbnails are the reason people click. If you have a really compelling thumbnail, it doesn't matter what the title is, people are going to click on it. And so you need to keep that in mind. Learning how to do thumbnails correctly is worth its weight in gold. I don't even know if that makes sense, but one of the best resources for thumbnail ideas that I go to are websites like BuzzFeed, because you go to like a website like BuzzFeed and it's like the 5 things they didn't tell you before going on an airplane, and it's got this like airplane and there's like they clickbait everything, right? But clickbait's what gets
Is it
clicked.
this one?
So,
BuzzFeed video?
No, but BuzzFeed, the website.
Okay.
No, but let's see here. But I mean, I mean, most large YouTube channels will use clickbait in their thumbnail.
Well, there's Mr. Beast.
Yeah, Mr. Beast. So
I have
there's
gotten into so many holes, like tunnels watching this. By the way, Mr. Beast, one of the biggest like YouTube channels, right, on YouTube. But yeah, these thumbnails, I know it's silly, but I still click on it.
Go to Mark Rober.
Okay.
Mark Rober, Rober. Mark Rober has some of the most clickable thumbnails that I've ever seen. So click on his channel, go to his channel. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, even looking at that picture right there with the elephant toothpaste, it just makes you stop and ask a question. The goal for your thumbnails is to get your audience to stop scrolling and ask themselves a question. If they ask a question, they have to click in order to get that question answered. It's psychology. And so scroll down a little bit. I'm going to show you my favorite thumbnail on Mark's. Okay, right there with the shark. Can you zoom in at all?
This one?
Yeah.
Hold on. I think I have to do
a zoom in feature. Maybe. I just want to show everybody what that thumbnail looks like. Okay. So look at how many views it has. Whoops, lost it. 49 million. Damn
Apple. Hold on.
We're gonna get back there, Fanny. We got this. This is live, everybody.
It is live. They've seen me make many mistakes. It's okay.
There it is. Oh, back a couple. Yeah,
okay.
Right there. Okay, 49 million views. I want to ask everybody.
69. Yeah.
Was it 60? Oh yeah. Okay, 69. My eyes are bad. 69 million views. Everybody in the comments.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat. What is the question that you ask yourself when you look at that thumbnail? So leave that in the chat. And for
let us know.
And then I just want to say, with Mark's thumbnails, he is a master at getting people to ask themselves a question. So just keep that in mind, everybody. When you are creating content, get your audience to ask a question, because if they ask a question, they're going to watch your content to get that question answered.
Yeah.
Woo. Thumbnails and titles, though. Thumbnails
and titles. Yes. And I think we're not just going to talk about it. I said we're going to talk about some case studies. Okay. Yep. Right. Because you've had a lot of success with a variety of clients. And so let's show people some examples, right? Like, let's show them what you mean. I think one of them was, speaking of niche, right?
Yep. All the comments are coming in. Look at the comments. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Fanny. Look at the comments. They got it. That's right. Are you going to get eaten? Yeah. That's it. That's the question. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible guest. Steamrolling you.
Is he bleeding? Yes. Did he get bitten? Right? We want to know.
Did he get eaten? I want to know. Did the shark bite his hand off?
Now you're all going to go watch it, aren't you?
It's such a good video, too.
You're going to go back and watch it. Don't leave my show yet. Wait till after my show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So let's go through some case studies, right? Like, speaking of niche, right? Hold on. Let me zoom out a little bit here. One of the channels that you've worked on talks about weather of all things,
Yeah, POW.
right?
Yeah, POW
Do I
Ponder.
type in POW,
Yep.
P-O-W?
POW pond. Yeah, POW and then Ponder. There you go.
Set us
Yeah.
up. Describe
So
this.
Roy Ponder is a self-taught weatherman. He lives in McKinney, Texas. He's local, and I worked with Roy from day one. Trying to just help him set things up in a way that would be conducive to his the time commitment that he could have, and then also just tried to get him set up as quickly as possible. So what's cool about Roy is that he's very specialized in what he does. There's not a lot of weather channels. There is the Weather Channel, and then there's a number of other weather enthusiasts who are doing similar things to Roy. But Roy had kind of a golden opportunity because he's older. He understands how the weather works in a way where he can break it down and make it understandable by a fifth grader. And so people love his content because it's so simple to understand so easy to understand what he's talking about. So when we first started with Roy, this is kind of a secret strategy that I'm going to tell you guys. It's called the double down strategy. So when we first started working together, I said, Roy, I want you to produce content 4 to 5 times a week for a month, and we're going to see what happens. And so he did. He was producing. I think he produced 4 times a week for the first number of months. But within a month, he had one of his videos pop. Can you go to the very bottom, Fanny?
Yeah. I've
And
seen
when I
some
say
with 16,000
yeah,
on a weather topic. Yeah.
when I say pop, what I'm meaning is that his other videos were getting 100 or 200 views a piece. This one got 1,500 views, and so it was an outlier. So you can see, let's see here. Yeah,
This is the very first
one
one.
that's like number 10 in. It's the second line up on the far left. Winter Outlook.
Oh, there. Winter
Yep.
Outlook. 28,000
28,000 views. So he was 10 videos in. Is that 10? Yeah, 10 videos in.
Yeah.
And he had that video pop, and it got a substantial amount of views, more than the other content. And so what we did was a couple of weeks later, we did a round 2, and you can see that. Let's see here, scroll up just a little bit, and let's see here. Right there, to the far left, 6,200 views.
Yeah.
So the strategy was that he was getting this video, or he had this video that's getting all these views. It was bringing subscribers in. I didn't want him to just make every video a winter outlook, because that would have been boring, and he needed to diversify and make sure that he was serving the needs of other people who are coming for different reasons.
Yeah.
But then he did a round 2, a new forecast, because the weather's always changing, you guys. I mean, you can produce content on the weather every single day and have something new. And then he kept doing that. He just doubled down, triple down, quadruple down. And that helped him go from 0 subscribers to, I think it was 5,000 subscribers in just a few months.
And now he has 20,000.
And then so he just passed. So he took a break from the beginning of the year. He kind of tapered off, and then all through the summer he took a 3-month break in the summer, and then he started back in September. September 30th is when I think it was September 31st is when he hit 10,000 subscribers, and then in the last month he's got another 10,000. Wow. And so
that's on weather, folks.
Yep.
Weather.
Yep. And he sells rain gauges and stuff like that. And so it's
through affiliates, Scott. Is that
he has his own rain gauge, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how it all works, but I think he's trying to set up a store where he can sell more than just rain gauges, but people can come and order stuff and then have it shipped directly to him.
And I tell you what, like, you would think weather is so dry, right? Like, but let me tell you something, because I am married to a man that loves the weather, and in the office, he's gonna he doesn't watch my show, so I can make fun of him. He will have the Weather Channel on in the background, and we've actually evaluated cable services based on whether they have the Weather Channel or not. And at one point, he put up this huge, like 6-foot wood post just so he can mount a weather station on top of it
Nice.
in our backyard, marring my view out of my window.
That's awesome.
But to your point, right? All you need is the enthusiasts, right?
Yep.
You just need the enthusiasts to double down or like pay attention to your niche, whatever, right? And then they'll buy from you, right? They'll spend that money because a weather geek will want to buy that rain gauge, whatever.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right?
Well, the coolest thing about Roy, everybody, this is super important. Roy has never edited a single video. He's never edited a video.
What
What
does
he
that
does
mean?
means he doesn't edit his videos. He just films them all in one take. And then he pops them up on. He doesn't know how to edit. He doesn't want to edit. and you know, anybody who's out there who can empathize with Roy, they're like, man, I don't want to edit. You don't have to edit to be successful on YouTube. You can just produce content that is in presentation mode, film it all in one take, throw it up there.
Look,
So
Cameron, I love the POW banner.
Yeah.
Mike just subscribed.
Nice. Yeah.
Mike, I didn't know you're a weather geek.
Love it. Yeah. Roy's awesome. But yeah, the cool thing is, you guys, is that most people just overcomplicate everything, right? And it's like the top 3 reasons that people don't start YouTube, or they you know, they don't start video or social media in general, is time, money, and their confusion. They overcomplicate things. And so if you can eliminate time, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was like, I accidentally flipped the bird, everybody. Sorry about that. If you can eliminate those 3 holdbacks, then YouTube can be awesome. It can be really simple. Time, right? It's like Roy doesn't edit. He films all of his stuff and he's, you know, in and out and done within an hour. Money, you know, he films on a webcam. You can film on an iPhone. Mr. Beast got 100,000 subscribers on an iPhone 6. You don't have to have fancy equipment. And confusion, don't overcomplicate it. It's super simple. Say what you want to say, get in, get out, and upload, and you're good to go.
I think that speaks right to Volta, because she said, I have the biggest hang up about editing.
Yeah.
It's so draining and time consuming. Yeah. Molly thinks I should start a channel about my husband's geeky habits. Yes, I would like to do that. Would that be entertaining for you all?
There you go. There you go.
Scott, good question from Mike. Do you help set up the equipment and capabilities for the video editing, or do you do the editing for your customers?
So we have in our agency, we've got a couple of different packages. Our base package is the SEO and thumbnail. So our clients film, they edit, and they send us the final product. We upload and do all of the SEO. We do all of the keyword research, and we do the titles and thumbnails. So it just simplifies the back end of it. And then our you know, next level up is we do all the editing as well. We've got a team of editors that are phenomenal. And so if that's in your budget, then yeah, it's worth it. I mean, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And to your point, Scott, I mean, at the end of the day, the editing, it all comes down to thumbnails and titles.
Yeah.
Right. That's the golden ticket.
You can have an awful video. If it has a great thumbnail, then you'll get clicks to it. That's the thing. Like, and I love and hate this about YouTube, but you can produce the best piece of content that has ever been produced on YouTube, and you can be outmarketed by an 18-year-old who just created a better thumbnail than you and said the same stuff, but just talked on his webcam. And, you know, it's like, it's really frustrating, but it's also really awesome. It'll make you want to understand the psychology of thumbnails and titles and the marketing side of things. Because it's absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it.
I want to get to, do you have time, Scott? We've already gone over, but I think everybody loves you and wants to hear more.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I actually want you to pull up another channel when we get to it too, because I've got another one.
Let's talk about your favorite topic.
Okay. What's my favorite topic? Oh, making money.
It's a 4-letter word.
Oh. Which
Lice.
Sorry, everybody. That was really loud. That was a loud laugh.
Sorry.
No, Yes, the Lice Lady. So she's she's another one of my clients from last year. Great case study too. I learned from each one of my clients something different, and she's great. So the Lice Lady is a gal who's based out of Boise, Idaho. She owns and runs a head lice removal clinic, and she wanted to sell product from her YouTube channel. And so I helped her launch and create her YouTube channel. We filmed 40 videos and released all of those videos in a 4-month period of time at the beginning of 2019. And what happened was really cool. So she didn't ever really explode, right? Because people don't really care too much about head lice. They're not like coming to
Until they get it,
yeah,
or
they don't
their
want to
kids get
subscribe
it.
to it. They don't want to subscribe to a Lice channel unless they're really into some weird stuff. Um, but but we knew that if we could just answer everybody's questions about lice, then we could kill it on this channel. And so if you scroll to the beginning, Fanny, because we did a similar, sorry, to the bottom, we did a similar tactic with the Lice Lady as we did with Roy, in that, we had a video that popped a few weeks after uploading, and then we would just
629,000 views.
yeah, so she's killing it with that channel, or with that video. What's cool about this though, you guys, is I said we produced 40 videos in the first 4 months. Well, she took a year break after that. She still got 2,500 views every single day, and she sold product every single day. I think she's produced maybe 5 or 10 videos this year, and she still gets 2,000 to 3,000 views per day and sales all the time. She sold, I haven't looked in the last month or two, but she sold 400 units of her product
Wow.
in the first 8 months, right? So and she's not doing anything. Like, she's not paying. It's like she's just
But
letting
to your
these.
point about search terms, right? Like
Yeah,
those are the words that we use. How to remove head lice, right? If
100%.
I wanted
Yeah.
to, or like how to get rid of lice, right? Those are how to get rid of lice fast, right? Like those are all things I would type into the search criteria
Yep.
if I had this problem.
Yeah, we just wanted to dominate the head lice keywords, and because we knew that we were most likely only going to get somebody one time, and that was in the time of need.
Yeah.
And their kid has head lice, and they're
Yeah.
like, I got to get rid of this
Yeah.
now. How do I get rid of lice fast? And so those are the keywords that we
Look at the
used.
baby. talk, talk, talk about thumbnails.
Yeah, I did all those thumbnails. You like that one?
The Photoshop is
That's right. But
bravo.
yeah, that's my pat on my back for putting giant bugs on a baby's head in the thumbnail. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
my call
Yeah.
call to fame
There
right
you
there.
go. When you grow
Claim
up,
to fame.
that's what you'll end up doing.
But it
Okay.
gets
And
you to ask
then
a question, right?
it does. It does. And then let's do one more case study. And I
Well,
think there was one that's very close to your heart.
yeah, is that Operation Underground Railroad?
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, please do that one. That's a great one. So
Set it up for us.
Operation Underground Railroad is an organization. Some of you guys are probably familiar with them. They're an organization that fights human trafficking. So Tim Ballard was I think he was former Homeland Security. He left his job because there were kids. He was out on a gosh, I'm going to totally butcher the story, but from what I remember, he was out on a mission. I don't want to call it a mission, but it was some type of a case that they were working, and there were kids that were missing that he wanted to include as part of the mission, and they said, no, you can't do that. And so he left his job and went full time trying to find these kids that had been kidnapped and trafficked. And so it launched this organization, and now he goes all over the world. They find traffickers. These are sex traffickers. These are labor traffickers. These are just human smugglers that are doing all sorts of gross and terrible things to kids and women and families. And so this organization is out there to stop it. Sorry, that was such a long-winded explanation,
No,
but
it's
they're
good.
so amazing. So I started working with them earlier this year when they had 9,000 subscribers. And if you scroll down a little bit on their page, you can
They're now at
tell.
93,000.
Yeah, they're now at 93,000. So you can tell right where we started. Oh, back up a little bit. Back up, just a little bit.
Yeah,
Yep, right there.
right
So you can
here.
tell where we
Right.
started. Yeah, that's when I started doing their thumbnails. And look at the difference
Yeah.
from one video to the next.
2.4 to 176,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the next one is at what, 800,000?
885,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we knew that this is an emotional, we needed our audience to connect with this organization on an emotional level.
Yeah.
And so all of my thumbnails were designed intentionally to evoke an emotion of sadness, of frustration, of anger, and it worked, and it worked in a huge way. And so they've grown from 9,000 to 90,000, 93,000 subscribers in the last 8 months, and they, if they produced more content, they probably would have been over 100,000 and months ago.
Yeah.
But they're producing one or two a month right now, so they're a little bit on the slow side. But yeah, they're killing it. And really, the only tweak that we needed to make was to their thumbnail, because their content was great. But again, you guys, it's
Yeah.
all about the marketing. If you scroll back down for a second, Fanny, this is exactly what I'm talking about. When you go to a channel and you see one of these videos that's a random screenshot, so there's two right there down there in the bottom row that are right in the middle of just a random screenshot
These two.
from the middle of a video.
Yeah.
And they've got a few thousand views, 15, 17,000, but these are
Yeah.
stories. If you were to create a thumbnail that brought out the emotion of that story, these would be hundreds of thousands of views, if not millions of views. So
Well, it's like this, right? I mean, his baby was taken, or she was caught, right? He was
Yep,
saved.
yep, exactly. Yeah, and
She was sold. My
so
goodness. Just breaks my
everyone
heart.
everyone gets you to ask a question. And so, like, she was sold. Who was sold? Who sold her? Where did they sell her to? Who has her? Where is she? That's a phenomenal story, you guys. If you have an opportunity to go watch that one, it's great. It's this girl who was sold when she was an infant, found her parents in her 20s, and
Oh,
Tim reunited them together. Man, I'm gonna get choked up. I better not.
I know. I'm gonna cry.
It's so good, though. It's so good.
Mm.
So anyway, this is to illustrate the power of thumbnails. The marketing
Yeah.
department has to be on point if you want YouTube to succeed.
Yeah. And then even it just goes to show whether you're you can be a nonprofit
Yep.
using YouTube to get the stories out. And then that can help you with fundraising, with sponsorship, with volunteers, with donations. I mean, it doesn't have to be just from like a commercial standpoint. There's all these other ways that you can use YouTube.
Yep. Absolutely. It's all about just marketing to your audience. And that's what I've gotten really good at. So that's why I do what I do. I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get to the crux of it, right? Like, can you share with folks a bit on how to monetize their YouTube channel? What are different ways to monetize a YouTube channel?
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's so many ways to monetize YouTube channels. So most people, and I don't know about your audience, their familiarity with YouTube. Most people think that the big money is made from the ads that Google runs on your videos. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of money to be made from Google advertising. I mean, we've made six figures from Google ads. It's not, it is substantial, but the
Yeah.
big money is in selling your own products or services, right? Because YouTube operates YouTube AdSense operates on what's called a CPM, or cost per mil. So it's essentially how much you make per 1,000 views. And most channels get between $1 and $2 per 1,000 views. During election time, it's like $8 or $9 because YouTube rakes the campaigns over the coals, and so we all make a little bit more during the election time. which is fun. But most of the time it's $1 to $2. Now, imagine if you sold one $50 product out of every 1,000 views.
Yeah.
Then your CPM goes from $1 to $2 to $51 to $52. That's where the real money is at on YouTube. So when we're talking about monetizing your business, it's not just, how much ads can I get on my, how many views and how many ads can I get on my videos. It's what can I offer to the audience that what does my audience need that I can offer to them? Or how can I offer my product or service? How can I create content that I can offer my product or service to them in my content strategy? And you can make six-figure income on YouTube with less than 5,000 subscribers, as long as you're speaking to that audience and you're giving them what they want, what they need. You're solving a problem. So, so I mean, there are so many ways to monetize.
Well, even for me, so I've been following Sydney Dionzin after I met him at your Video Marketing World Conference, right? And so Sydney, for those, he was in one of my past episodes. He talks a lot about camera and video and audio equipment, right? So I'd say there's been like 2 or 3 times that I've watched the video and then I went through the description and then clicked on his affiliate link and like bought something, and then like affiliation, right? Also, they get a certain percentage when I click on it, right? And I'm okay to do that because I just watched 10 minutes of his advice that I think was great. So I rather click on his link, buy from him, he gets a little cut, and then rather than like going to the store to buy it or something, right? Like he's instilled loyalty in me because he's given value to me.
Yep.
Right?
100%. Yeah. Affiliates are an amazing way to go. If you don't have a product or service, but you can connect with, you have a product or service that you have used that you can shout out in your videos and you can make a kickback or an affiliate commission on. Affiliates are a phenomenal way to earn income. We have a just for example, on one of my channels, we have a $100 product that we launched in April, and that's made it's over $30,000 just this year. And I mean, that's just a side thing, and it's all passive. We made it was a course that we made. It's got 20 videos or whatever, and we sell it for $97, and it's made over $30,000 just as a side thing. We don't do anything with it. It just continues to produce income.
It's that passive income, right?
Yeah. Passive income. Yeah. Purely passive income. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Scott, like I could talk to you all day. Like we've had so many conversations together and it's still awesome. But I do want to kind of like make sure I'm conscious of your time. How can people reach you?
So if anybody wants to reach out, connect with me here on LinkedIn. My notifications are turned on, so I get messages. You can connect with me on Facebook. You can join us in our Facebook group. It's called Video Marketing World. It's just a Video Marketing World Facebook group. And I think you have the link. Yeah, there it is. Video Marketing World. Video Marketing World.
Let me go to it real quick.
Oh, so it's facebook.com/groups or group.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up real quick here. This one, right?
Yeah.
There it is. Let me rewrite that banner.
Yeah, I think it's /group.
No. Yes, let me rewrite that. This is live, folks. Here's the new link. Here's the better link. Yeah.
Yeah. /groups/Video Marketing World HQ. Yeah. So I do a live video every week where we bring on influencers, big and small. Our biggest that we've brought in has 7 million followers on TikTok. She's awesome. And then our smallest I think we've had was Roy last week. Who has 10,000. He had 15,000 subscribers last week. So we're talking to people big and small, so that way you can meet them at every step of the journey and learn from them.
All kinds of great like knowledge sharing too. I'm part of that group. And yeah, like people are also like interacting, asking questions, and then you kind of get feedback and inputs from a variety of content creators as well.
That's right. Yeah, we've got a lot of A-list celebrity influencers are part of that group,
Mhm.
and they're always in there answering questions and having fun with us. So it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Roger's part of that group too.
Roger's everywhere.
Roger is omnipresent.
Uh,
And
so
that's why Roger does so well. Oh, I did say we're gonna share some of Roger's secrets.
oh, yes,
Sorry, real fast. I know everybody.
please. Okay.
So here's the deal, and Roger has done this phenomenally well, and Roger talks about this a lot too, so I don't feel bad talking about it. But what Roger did really, really well is he started his channel using those keyword phrases, answering the questions that people were typing in. How to fix a broken toilet, how to fix a leaky pipe, how to find the source of an odor, a sewer odor, those types of questions. And he did that for years. And then this last year, just in the last 6-7 months, he started creating content that had a more universal appeal, that was more entertaining. And so he does the things that are like 50,000 Orbeez in the drain. This is a video that people aren't going to be searching for, but when they come across it on the YouTube homepage, or they come across it and suggested, they're going to want to click on it because it has that curiosity factor. Now, if Roger would have started with that type of content from day one, he wouldn't have got very many views, and if he tried to build his channel on that, it would have taken him longer to take off. What he did was he built an audience of people who came from his how-to content, and then he transitioned and started doing this content that was more trendy, that would have a broader appeal, that when people saw it and suggested, that they would click it because it's so interesting. There's so much curiosity around it. So that's why Roger has exploded over the last few months, is because he's now has this new strategy of creating content that has that more broader appeal, and it's done amazing things for his channel. So congrats, Roger.
But I mean, it's
I
a
didn't
long
share your
game,
secret,
right?
Roger.
Right? Like he took the time, he was patient, he built it up. Right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, Roger did everything 100% accurately, the right way. So he's a great model to follow.
And look at that banner. Like,
that's amazing.
How cool does that look? Is that the coolest plumber you've ever met, folks? Right? Okay. So, Scott, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think when you're going to see, there's Roger. He's like, wait, all my secrets right there. Well, maybe. That's the beauty of Roger. You're awesome, Roger.
Secrets under his hat. So.
I so appreciate your time, Scott. For those of you out there, reach out to him, go to his Facebook group, connect with him on LinkedIn, watch his channels, listen to his advice. Like I've learned so much from you, Scott. I continue to learn from you, and I think everyone else will get tons and tons of value from you. I think we never stop learning. That's what I've realized, and I love it. And most of all, you're just a great person. Like you're always giving of your time, and I so appreciate that, Scott.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I get myself into trouble quite often, but I appreciate the opportunity to come here and talk about something I love. So thanks everybody for listening to me for the last 80 minutes. Oh my gosh.
They stuck around. There's still 16 people on there. Those are the diehards, the special fans. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Relax. You did great. Thank you, Scott. Thank you to the audience. Thank you for tuning in. And I always like to finish off by reminding you to shine your light, Share your message, share your voice, share your content, and spread it to the world through video. Have a great rest of your week, and thank you for tuning in, everyone. Connect with Scott. Bye.
You guys.